Our oceans. They're literally the lifeblood of our planet. But they're in big trouble. We're up against a massive challenge. How do we protect these incredible ecosystems while also balancing the needs of billions of people? Okay, let's get into it and explore what a real blueprint for the future of our oceans looks like. I want to start with just one number, 60%. Just let that sit there for a second. What on earth could that represent? Well, it's the reality for a country like Ecuador, where over half of its amazing coastal ecosystems are already damaged. And this isn't some far-off problem. It's happening right now thanks to overfishing, pollution, you name it. And this story, it's playing out in coastal areas all over the world. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's this huge, complicated balancing act between saving the planet, growing economies, and respecting the rights of the people who live there. So where do you even start? Well, here's the good news. We actually have a plan, or maybe more like a powerful pair of strategies that are designed to work together. Yeah, you can think of them as the dynamic duo of marine management, here to bring some order and sustainability to our coasts. Okay, so first up, we've got something called Integrated Coastal Management, or ICM for short. This is the big picture philosophy. It's the overall game plan. It's all about realizing you can't just manage the water, you have to manage everything connected to it. The land, the economy, and yeah, even the politics. The whole idea is to get everyone around the same table. And if ICM is the game plan, then Marine Spatial Planning, or MSP, is the playbook. This is where it gets super practical and data-driven. We're talking about literally creating a map of the ocean to decide what happens where. Like, okay, fishing happens here, tourism over there, and this spot, this is a no-touch conservation zone. It's all about stopping conflicts before they start. So, let's break that down even simpler. ICM is the big, wide-angle view, focusing on getting people to work together across the entire coast. MSP is the zoom-in, using those detailed zoning maps to organize the sea itself. They're different for sure, but they're designed to fit together perfectly. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How does it work on the ground? Well, there's a pretty clear 5-step blueprint that turns these big ideas into real action. All right, let's walk through this. Step 1, you do a deep dive, a diagnosis, gathering all the data, what's happening with the wildlife, with the people, with the money. Step 2, and this is absolutely crucial, you get everyone, especially local communities, in a room to help set the goals. Then step 3 is the mapping, the actual zoning. After that, you implement the plan with clear rules. And finally, step 5, you constantly monitor how things are going and you adapt. It's a living, breathing process. And this table here, man, it really shows you the kind of tough calls that have to be made in that zoning step. Take a look. In a strict conservation zone, sure, science is fine, but industrial fishing? No way. In an artisanal fishing zone, small-scale tourism might be okay, but huge industrial trawlers? Absolutely not. This really brings home the real-world trade-offs you have to navigate to make it all work. So, the big question is, does any of this actually work? Is all this planning and all these tough conversations worth it? The answer is a huge, resounding yes. And we've got proof from the real world. This quote right here, it just nails it. It's talking about one of the most incredible natural treasures on Earth, the Galapagos Marine Reserve. They were facing that classic showdown between fishing, tourism, and conservation, and they used these exact tools to figure it out. So what was the secret sauce in the Galapagos? Well, the key was getting everybody who had a stake in the game, fishers, tour guides, scientists, conservationists, around the same table. By giving everyone a real voice, the plan they came up with actually stuck. And the results? Way less conflict and thriving populations of sea turtles, hammerhead sharks, and sea lions. And this isn't just a one-off thing. Similar approaches in places like Australia's Great Barrier Reef have had great success too. But look, putting these plans into action, it's not always a walk in the park. Not at all. It forces us to face some of the hardest, most complex ethical questions in conservation. The kind where there are no easy answers. I mean, think about it. What happens when protecting a coral reef means a whole community of fishers can't make a living anymore? How do we possibly balance someone's immediate need to feed their family with our long-term responsibility to the planet? It's a massive dilemma. And that whole participation thing we talked about, it's everything. But how do you make sure it's genuine? That it's not just a box-ticking exercise where the real decisions have already been made? How do we make sure the voices of small communities are heard just as loudly as big corporations? That's a huge challenge. Or how about this one? Imagine a plan is working perfectly, the ecosystem is recovering, but then a new opportunity comes along, maybe for offshore wind farms, that could create jobs but might threaten a beloved species like the hammerhead shark. Is it okay to change the rules then? Who gets to decide? So you see, these aren't just technical problems you can solve with a spreadsheet. They are deep human debates. It's the tension between today's needs and tomorrow's health. It's weighing the value of an ecosystem against a person's right to make a living. And it all comes down to the process. Who decides, and how do we make that decision feel fair to everyone? And you know what? Facing these tough questions, that's part of the process. A huge part. And a key to getting through it is being able to measure what actually matters, to prove that these plans are delivering real benefits for both people and nature. And check out this chart. This is what success looks like when you measure it. We're not just talking about species recovery, which at 40% is a great start. We're also seeing a whopping 85% community satisfaction. 75% of people are following the rules, and there's been a 60% drop in conflicts. That is a picture of a healthy, functioning system. And really, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. These tools, ICM and MSP, they're not magic wands. Their success comes down to people. It depends completely on political willpower, on real, authentic community buy-in, and on everyone sharing a long-term vision for our oceans. So, there you have it. We have the blueprint. We know the steps, we've seen it work, and we know the tough questions we have to ask. So the final question, it's really for all of us. When those conflicts do arise, when the urgent needs of today slam up against our duties to the future, what values are going to guide our choices? That's the question we all have to answer together.